Are you looking to get free money when you buy a house in DC? I got you. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about HPAP. Hi, welcome back to another Coffee with Coleman, where we love to discuss Washington, DC, business, real estate, all that good stuff. My name is John Coleman. I'm a real estate agent here in Washington, DC with the Jason Martin Group. If you could do me a quick favor, hit that like button if you found this video helpful. If you find it really helpful, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can get alerted when I release new videos each week around all things DC and real estate. So HPAP, or the Home Purchase Assistance Program, is a very popular program when people start their search of buying their first home. I've worked with many buyers that have used the program before, and so I thought it might be helpful to make a one-stop shop to understand the program, how to qualify for it, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of actually using it. So what is it? HPAP is a program that provides interest-free loans and closing cost assistance to qualified applicants to purchase, whether it be a house or a condo. The actual loan amount you end up is based on a combination of the factors of like income, household size, and how much money you plan on actually using in your purchase. If you are eligible, you could receive a maximum, and this is brand new, of $202,000 in gap assistance, an additional $4,000 in closing cost assistance, calculating up to a total of $206,000, folks. Whew. So here are the qualifications of the program. First, you gotta be a first-time buyer. Second, you gotta be a very low to moderate income resident based on this chart. Third, you can't have any ownership interest in any other real estate. Fourth, the home has to be in DC. And lastly, you need a good credit rating, usually around at least 640, but that can vary depending on what your specific situation is. So the amount of money for gap financing you are eligible for all can be found on this chart, and it's pretty straightforward. You just look at your household size, what your salary is, and then you go to the left and see what you might actually qualify for. This chart can change, so feel free to email me to make sure that this is the most up-to-date information as you get going. In essence, this is added to your loan amount so you can afford a little bit more house. And let's be honest, DC is pretty freaking expensive. So it might be helpful in your case to have these extra funds to own that house that makes sense. And as for the closing cost assistance, that $4K we talked about, that's also on a little bit of a chart for you, but that goes towards some of the items of like how much it costs to get a loan, some of the costs it is to actually procure a loan or buy property in DC. It defrays some of those costs to make your out-of-pocket even less than a typical buyer might have. And here's how the timeline would shake out for you. So the borrower must apply for the program, which I've included links below to do so. Then the buyer must take an orientation session, and I'm told that that takes about 2 hours. I haven't attended myself, but that's what people have told me. Once you attend the session, you can officially submit your application and wait for your notice of eligibility. We call that an NOE for short. This can take a little while, so be patient. After you get your NOE, you have to attend one of their 8-hour Saturday classes. Sounds fun, but hey, they're giving you money, it's worth it, there's things you should probably know. And they're gonna teach you some of the ins and outs of home buying, but since you're watching my channel, you're gonna know above and beyond what they're gonna talk about anyways. Once you submit your NOE and your certificate says you finished the class, you will be officially approved for financing. And that's where I come in. Then we get to go shopping for your first house. That's the fun thing. Like, that's why HGTV is like so popular. People love looking at houses. Once you've located a home, you can plan on the closing taking about 60 days from when your offer is actually accepted. Although it's not abnormal for there to be delays with HPAP financing, and we'll get to that more in a second. From there, we're gonna complete a home inspection and a termite inspection, and they both have to be approved by HPAP. And then finally, we would head to closing. And there's obviously a lot more to it than that, but this is a good starting point to get the ball rolling to understand the basic concepts of what you need to be thinking about as you're moving forward with this process. So what are my real feelings on the program? On paper, it's fantastic. It's great. This is an expensive city, and anytime we can encourage our residents to invest in our communities, it's a good thing for everyone. There are certain people I help buy homes that it would not be possible for them to purchase the home they got if it weren't for the program. So it's a wonderful tool to have in our tool belt. One of the realities of the program, though, is it's tougher. I mean, even going through the process to get approved for it takes a lot of effort, and it's no big deal. Like during that process, you have to prove that you really want it, and it's free money. So again, you want to make this happen, but one of the biggest obstacles for HPAP is actually the market itself. HPAP is a fairly slower program. For instance, I mentioned earlier that we typically aim to close in about 60 days, and there might be delays. Well, a more traditional loan closes in 30 days. And it's much more rare that that doesn't close on time, which means a seller would have to wait twice as long to get that money, and they might have to be a little bit more nimble. So if they need that money now, it's less ideal. In a competitive situation, I tend to see more traditional financing get selected over something like HPAP for these reasons. Additionally, HPAP creates longer timelines for the other portions of the contract, like your inspection is going to take longer, getting your financing approved from your lender might take a little bit longer. Getting the appraisal done might take a little longer. I've even seen a scenario where HPAP ran out of money right before closing, and it's not a huge deal because they get a check, like they keep financing it and it's there, but it meant that the closing had to get extended over 2 weeks, and if that seller needed that money to buy holiday presents for their family, well, it just makes it more stressful for everyone included, buyers and sellers. So would I recommend HPAP? Heck yes. I do recommend exploring all possible financing options and weighing the pluses and minuses of it. But emphatically, yes, having options is a good thing. And if HPAP is the best option for you, to go with it, do it. Don't look back. But you're just gonna have to have your eyes wide open for the advantage and disadvantages of using the program. I specialize in working with first-time home buyers and have experience in coaching people through the HPAP process, along with tons of other loan options. If you're interested in learning more or just want to talk to someone and try to get this all figured out, don't be afraid to reach out. I'm a teacher at heart and would love to help you get pointed in the right direction. All right, that's it for this week. Was there something I missed? Did you have any questions? Have you had an experience with HPAP? Good, bad, and different? Go ahead and put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to do. And the more we all know about this together, the more sense we can make of it and use these programs to invest in our awesome city. All right, so thanks again for stopping by another Coffee with Coleman. Peace.